You didn't stumble onto this video, you were summoned. The second you clicked, something ancient in the spirit realm shifted, not by accident, not by curiosity, but by divine orchestration. Because right now, as these words reach your ears, something in your soul just sat up. Something buried just opened its eyes. Something chosen just awakened. You feel it, don't you? That tightening in your chest, that sudden wave of heat, that inner whisper rising like a roar saying, "This is for me." That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. You've stepped into a sacred moment, a pre-written appointment hidden in your timeline, waiting for you to arrive. This is more than a message. This is a spiritual transaction. A moment where heaven leans in to ask you one question. Are you ready? Ready to stop surviving and start walking in power? Ready to stop doubting and start becoming? Ready to stop waiting and finally receive? Because what's coming isn't a wish, it's a release. A release of everything you've cried for, bled for, prayed for in silence. And now heaven is holding the vault open. But it's not forcing you, it's inviting you, because miracles aren't imposed, they're activated by your yes, and not just any yes, a now yes, a fearless, surrendered, unapologetic yes. This is the moment the enemy tried to stop. That delay, that pain, that confusion, it wasn't just life, it was resistance, because hell knows what happens when a chosen one finally wakes up and says, "I'm ready." And guess what? You made it. You're still here, still standing, still breathing, still believing. That alone is your proof. The transfer is already approved. The blessing is already written. Heaven's just waiting on one thing: you. So if you feel it, if your spirit knows this moment is yours, drop 777 in the comments right now to declare it. Hit that like button as a prophetic act. Subscribe to stay locked in this frequency. Because this isn't just another video. This is your divine confirmation. Welcome, chosen one. Let's begin. You ever get the feeling that no matter how far you run, something's been chasing you your whole life, but not to harm you, to crown you? That quiet pull inside your chest, that voice that whispers when you're alone, you're meant for more. It wasn't your imagination. That was destiny knocking over and over, waiting for you to finally open the door. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't made to follow the rules everyone else lives by. No, heaven didn't choose you to be common. It chose you because you carry something rare. From the moment you took your first breath, the universe took notice. While others celebrated birthdays, you triggered timelines. While others were given a name, you were given a calling. That's why nothing in your life has been random. Every delay, every detour, every heartbreak. It wasn't to punish you, it was to position you. You've been walking with invisible ink written on your soul, and that ink reads, set apart, marked for more, destined for wealth, greatness, impact. And not just financial wealth, but spiritual abundance, wisdom, influence that stretches beyond generations. You weren't designed to just earn, you were born to build. Your existence is an answer to a need this world hasn't yet seen. And even though people may have overlooked you, misunderstood you, counted you out, heaven never did. In fact, heaven's been patiently waiting for you to realize who you are, what you carry, and why you can't be broken by the same things that destroy others. Because you were never walking alone. You've been walking with favor, and favor follows the marked ones. The funny thing is, chosen ones often feel the most forgotten. While others are out there chasing dreams, celebrating wins, gathering likes and followers, you've probably felt like life's been one long season of silence. But silence isn't absence, it's protection. It's the space where heaven does its finest work, away from noise, away from crowds, away from validation. You see, the chosen are rarely born into applause. They're born into assignment. And assignment requires isolation. You had to go through those years where nothing made sense, where doors closed without explanation, where relationships crumbled, where everything in you wanted to scream, "Why me?" But now, looking back, you're starting to realize it wasn't happening to you. It was happening for you. Because the longer you were hidden, the deeper your roots were growing. And deep roots grow unshakable trees. You were never being buried, you were being planted. Heaven was protecting you from premature exposure, from people who would have mishandled your gift, from places that couldn't hold your potential. And now, the season of hiding is ending. What was once hidden is being unveiled, and the world is not ready for what's about to rise. Because when the chosen emerge, they don't come back the same. They come back wiser, stronger, clearer, with eyes that see beyond surface and a spirit that knows its worth. You've been in the fire long enough. Now it's time to shine like the gold you've always been. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about hype or hollow motivation. This is about truth, deep truth, the kind that's been buried under years of struggle and survival. You've been told to stay humble, to play it safe, to not dream too big. But chosen ones were never meant to live small. You don't carry fire in your bones just to light a match. You carry it to burn down limitations. The divine has marked you for a life of abundance. And that abundance begins when you stop asking for permission to rise and start walking like you already have the crown. Wealth doesn't come to the loud, it comes to the aligned. And you, whether you see it yet or not, are in divine alignment. Everything you've survived was preparation. Everything you lost was making space. Everything you feared is about to bow to the version of you that's finally ready to accept what's always been yours. There's a reason why you don't think like everyone else, why your dreams are too big for small talk, why you struggle to sit through conversations that drain your spirit. It's because you were wired differently. You weren't built to just fit in. You were created to transform the room, and that comes at a cost. You've probably noticed that with every level of growth, the room gets smaller. Friends fall away, support disappears, loneliness creeps in. But that loneliness is sacred. That isolation, it's not punishment, it's invitation. Invitation to go deeper, to tap into what's been hidden under the noise, to finally meet the real you, the one who isn't watered down by other people's opinions. Because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs your voice, your truth, your ideas. And heaven didn't give those to anyone else. It gave them to you, because you could be trusted, because your intentions are pure, because your pain refined you instead of destroying you. You didn't break, you transformed, and that's why you're ready now. Ready not just to survive, but to thrive, to overflow, to walk with a kind of abundance that breaks chains, lifts others, and leaves a legacy no one can erase. So let's talk about the wealth inside you, the kind that can't be measured by numbers but shows up in ideas, in instincts, in the way your heart aches to solve problems others ignore. You're not just a dreamer, you're a vessel. You've been chosen to carry a vision that will bless thousands, maybe millions. But it won't come through force. It'll come through alignment, through recognizing that you already have what most people spend their whole lives chasing. You have discernment, you have resilience, you have wisdom earned in the trenches of life. That's millionaire currency. That's wealth of the rarest kind. And when your inner world aligns with your divine identity, your outer world has no choice but to follow. That's the secret. It was never about chasing money. It was about becoming the person who money chases. And you, chosen one, are that person. This is your wake-up call. Your spiritual inheritance is too big to ignore. Your name is written on blessings you haven't even imagined yet. But it all begins with one decision: to accept that you were chosen not just to witness miracles, but to live in them, to embody them, to become the evidence that heaven still moves, still speaks, still blesses. And when you finally embrace that, not just with your mouth, but with your movement, you unlock the gates. The ones that seemed sealed, the ones people said you'd never walk through. Watch them swing open, because when the chosen rise, nothing can stop them. Not time, not opposition, not doubt, and most certainly not fear. So rise, accept it. Heaven's been waiting on you. You've probably asked yourself, why does it feel like I'm under attack all the time? Why does it seem like the harder you try to rise, the heavier the resistance becomes? That's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. You've been targeted by darkness not because you're weak, but because you're powerful. The enemy doesn't fight what doesn't threaten it. The pressure you've been feeling, that's not random. That's warfare. Not just in the physical, but in the spiritual. And the battlefield is your mind. That's where the enemy strikes first. It tries to convince you that you're behind, that you're not good enough, that you're forgotten, broken, or too late. It floods you with comparison, insecurity, confusion. Why? Because if it can get you to believe the lie, you'll never walk in the truth. But here's the part the enemy never expected. You're still here, after everything you've been through, after the losses, the betrayals, the closed doors, the breakdowns, the nights you almost gave up. You're still standing, and that's proof of something far greater than willpower. That's divine protection. That's resilience rooted in calling. You were designed to withstand storms because you were built to carry something eternal. You have no idea how close you were to break through the last time you almost quit. You thought it was the end, but it was actually the edge, the moment before shift, the space between testing and triumph. And that's how it works. Before every blessing, there's a battle. Before every elevation, there's resistance. But the chosen ones don't retreat. They don't fold under pressure. They rise in it. And the greatest warfare is often reserved for the greatest destinies. You've been fighting not because you're cursed, but because you're crowned. But it's time now to take back your mind, to evict the lies and replace them with truth. You are not too broken to be used. You are not too late to succeed. You are not unworthy of wealth, joy, and favor. You are chosen. You are enough. You are equipped. And you are on the brink of walking into a life that others can only dream of. But first, you must make a choice to stop playing small, to stop shrinking your light to fit their comfort, to stop apologizing for the fire in your spirit. You were not made to be mild. You were made to move mountains. And now comes the moment of recognition, the realization that the millionaire you're meant to become isn't out there, it's within. You've been taught to search for the secret in books, in gurus, in formulas and systems. But the truth is, everything you need is already inside you. Your experiences, your pain, your creativity, your instincts, they are not liabilities. They are treasure. The world has conditioned you to doubt yourself, to chase validation, to wait for permission. But chosen ones don't wait for approval. They act on vision. You've already been given the blueprint. That idea you keep brushing off, it's the seed. That skill you've been hiding, it's the key. That passion you can't shake, it's the map to your next level. Stop waiting. Start moving. The millionaire within isn't waiting for a better economy or perfect timing. It's waiting for your decision. When you choose to believe in yourself with the same intensity you've believed in others, everything begins to change. Because wealth isn't just about money, it's about mindset. And when your mind is anchored in truth, no external force can block your flow. That's why fear always comes first. Because fear knows if you ever walked in the fullness of your identity, you'd become unstoppable. And that's exactly what you're about to do. No more tiptoeing around your power. No more pretending you're just lucky when favor follows you. No more playing humble when your light was meant to lead. The millionaire within doesn't crave attention. It creates results. It doesn't chase, it attracts. It doesn't beg, it builds. You were not put on this earth to survive until Friday. You were placed here to disrupt systems, to break generational chains, to create something that lasts beyond your lifetime. That's legacy, and that's your true currency. You were never meant to walk the typical path. That's why it's always felt uncomfortable. The truth is, if the crowd is doing it, it probably wasn't meant for you. You've been called to something uncommon. That's why your journey looks nothing like theirs. That's why you don't fit in rooms that others thrive in. You were wired differently. You see things others can't. You feel deeper. You think bigger. And with that comes the burden of being misunderstood, of being judged, of walking alone. But chosen ones are never truly alone. Heaven walks with them in silence. Destiny watches from the shadows. You've been walking an unfamiliar road because you were never supposed to arrive where everyone else is going. Your destination is different. Your calling is higher. Your reward is greater. So stop comparing your pace to theirs. Stop measuring your worth by their metrics. Their life is not your blueprint. Their path is not your map. You were handpicked for a route that doesn't make sense to the world, but it makes perfect sense to the divine. The rejection was redirection. The delay was protection. The confusion was preparation. You've been walking through fire so that when you come out, nothing can burn you again. You don't need their approval, you need obedience. You don't need their applause, you need alignment. Walk your path boldly, speak your truth loudly, move in silence when you must, but never doubt the steps. Heaven doesn't need crowds to confirm your calling, it only needs your yes. And here's the truth, your path may be lonely, but it's not empty. Every step has been watched, every prayer has been heard, every sacrifice has been recorded. And now, you're entering the part of the journey where things start to align, where the pieces start to make sense, where the struggles birth strategy and the pain becomes power. The uncommon path leads to an uncommon reward, and the ones who dared to walk it in faith, without a map, without a guarantee, are the ones who receive the blessing the world cannot comprehend. You are not late. You are not lost. You are right on time. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep building. Because the moment you stopped chasing what's popular and started following what's divine, everything shifted. And soon the world will see what heaven already knew. You were never ordinary. You were always chosen. It's easy to think that all this waiting has been a waste of time, that the years spent in silence, in struggle, in starting over again and again, were just delays, cosmic glitches in your timeline. But let me tell you something the world won't say out loud. The delay was never denial. It was a divine test, and no one gets promoted without passing it. Every season of your life where you felt overlooked wasn't a punishment. It was a proving ground, a classroom of unseen lessons. The universe doesn't hand out elevation without preparation. So if you've been through battles that made you question your worth, if you've been knocked down more times than you care to admit, and if you're still here despite all of it, then you've already passed the hardest part, the test before the treasure. And the beauty of this test is that it wasn't about talent or charm or charisma. It was about your character. Would you stay kind when no one was clapping for you? Would you keep giving when no one said thank you? Would you continue to believe in the vision when everything around you screamed, give up? Because that's what sets the chosen apart from the crowd. Not perfection, but persistence. See, anyone can perform when the lights are on and the stage is set. But the chosen ones are forged in the quiet. They're refined in the fire of everyday faithfulness, doing the work without recognition, showing up without applause, sowing seeds without knowing when the harvest will come. That's not easy, but that's what makes it sacred. And if you're listening to this now, I know you've felt that weight. You've had moments where it seemed like everyone else was moving ahead while you were stuck. You've watched others win with shortcuts and lies while you stayed true to your path. And deep down, you've wondered, was it worth it? Let me answer that for you. Yes, it was. Because while they were building temporary thrones, you were building foundation. While they were rushing success, you were growing roots, and what's coming to you will not be shaken, because it wasn't built on hype, it was built on heaven. You've been faithful in the fire, now you're ready for the favor, and nothing and no one can stop what's been assigned to your name. You didn't come this far to be abandoned, you came this far to be crowned. What's wild is that the breakthrough doesn't always come wrapped in celebration. Sometimes it shows up quietly, an idea, a meeting, an open door you weren't even expecting. But you'll know it when it comes because it'll fit you like a key fits a lock. It'll make everything you've been through make sense. You'll stop resenting the pain and start seeing it as the very thing that qualified you. The world may think you just got lucky, but you'll know the truth. You were tested, you were tried, and now you're being trusted. Heaven doesn't bless by accident. It blesses those who've shown they can carry the weight without letting it crush them. And you, yes, you, are about to carry more than you ever imagined. Not just wealth, but wisdom. Not just influence, but impact. Not just blessings, but responsibility. And it's all been leading to this moment when everything locked inside of you finally gets permission to come alive. There's a shift happening, and it's not subtle, it's not small, it's global. It's a transfer, a divine reversal of roles. What once belonged to those who misused their power is now being handed over to those who were refined in humility. This isn't about revenge, it's about justice. It's about divine timing. It's about the long-awaited moment when what's been stored up for the faithful finally finds its rightful owners. You've felt the stirring, you've sensed the change. The opportunities coming to you now aren't just coincidence, they are confirmations. Confirmations that you've stepped into alignment. Confirmations that your obedience wasn't in vain. The transfer isn't coming, it's already here. Doors are opening in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Your name is being mentioned in spaces you didn't even know existed. And the crazy part? You didn't chase it. You just became it. Because that's the secret no one talks about. Real power isn't in the pursuit, it's in the preparation. While others were racing ahead, you were getting ready. While others were performing, you were transforming. And now you're walking into a season where everything makes sense. The struggles, the detours, the loneliness, it was all training. Training for what you're about to carry. Because this next level isn't just about you, it's about everyone attached to you. You've been chosen to lead the shift, to receive what others forfeited, to break ceilings that once felt like walls. And it's not arrogance, it's alignment. You're not taking something that doesn't belong to you. You're stepping into what's always been yours. The divine transfer is not a handout, it's a handover. And the only qualification is your willingness to receive it with both hands and a humble heart. This transfer is multidimensional. It's not just about finances, it's about territory, influence, insight, innovation. Where others see problems, you see possibilities. Where others retreat, you rise. That's why you're being trusted now. Not because you're the loudest, not because you're the flashiest, but because you've proven that your hands can handle more. You didn't compromise to get here. You didn't manipulate. You didn't fake it. You walked with integrity, even when it cost you everything. And now the cost is turning into currency. The sacrifice is becoming supply. The waiting is birthing wonders. And what's coming next will feel surreal, but it won't be surprising. Because deep down, your spirit always knew this moment was coming. You just had to survive the wilderness long enough to see it. So don't shrink, don't second guess, don't play small to make others comfortable. You were never meant to fit in their mold. You were born to break it. You were born to rise in rooms your ancestors only dreamed of, to sit at tables your past self couldn't even imagine, to create waves that ripple through time, and all of it, every single moment, is happening now. You are the transfer. You are the shift. You are the fulfillment of a promise heaven made long ago. And no force on earth can stop what's already been written in your favor. You've waited long enough. You've doubted yourself long enough. You've played it safe, shrunk to fit, and made yourself small for the comfort of others. But that version of you no longer serves the assignment you were born to fulfill. There comes a time in every chosen one's journey when the preparation ends and the positioning begins, and that time for you is now. This isn't the season for hesitation. This is the moment for boldness. Everything you've survived, every scar you carry, every loss you thought would break you, has built the foundation you need to rise into a new identity. You're not who you were a year ago, a month ago, not even a day ago. A shift has taken place. The old version of you was necessary for survival, but now you are stepping into the version that's designed for leadership, for wealth, for legacy. The world has yet to see the full force of who you are when you stop apologizing for your greatness and start standing in it fully. You are not rising to be better than others. You're rising because you've been chosen to show others what's possible. When people look at your life, they won't just see success. They'll see the evidence of divine timing, of relentless faith, of miraculous favor. You weren't called to just succeed quietly. You were called to succeed purposefully. And purpose doesn't whisper, it echoes. It shakes rooms. It wakes people up. It breaks generational patterns. You don't need another sign, another sermon, or another confirmation. You are the confirmation. You are the answered prayer someone else is waiting on. That means your rise isn't just for you. It's for everyone who's been watching, wondering if it's still possible to win without selling your soul. And now, as you step into this new level, remember this. You don't need to explain yourself. Let your transformation be the proof. Let your elevation speak the loudest. People will notice, they'll see the difference, not because you told them, but because your presence changed the atmosphere. So don't hold back. This is your moment to step into rooms that once intimidated you and realize they were never too big. You were just waiting to grow into them. This is your moment to make decisions from vision, not fear. This is your moment to invest in yourself like you believe in the calling on your life. You are not just rising, you are being revealed. The world is finally catching up to what heaven has known about you all along. And you won't need to beg for support or seek approval. When you move with divine authority, the right doors open, the right people align, and the right resources flow. That's the power of a chosen one who has said yes to the call. You become magnetic, you become undeniable, and nothing can stop what's already in motion. Now is the time to accept it fully, not partially, not conditionally, but with your whole heart. You've asked for signs, and this is one of them. You've wondered if you're really chosen, really called, really destined for more, and the answer is yes, yes, and yes again. You were not placed on this earth to simply exist. You were placed here to thrive, to lead, to overflow. And if that sounds too big for you, good. That's how you know it's divine. Heaven never gives small visions to big spirits. You were given a dream that scares you because it's meant to stretch you, to grow you, to pull the fullness of your potential out into the light. That dream was planted in you because you're the one who has the heart, the strength, the courage to carry it. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop dimming your light for people who are more comfortable in the dark. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. And it starts the moment you choose to accept what has always been true. You were chosen, not because of luck, not because of privilege, not because of connections, but because you have a spirit that cannot be duplicated. You've got ideas that didn't come from textbooks. You've got instincts that can't be taught. You've got favor on your life that no one can take. And it's time, past time, for you to stop questioning what's already been confirmed. Accept your calling, accept your brilliance, accept your uniqueness, accept your abundance, accept the fact that heaven has marked you for millionaire status, not for vanity, but for impact. You are not just here to get rich. You are here to become a river, one that flows through your community, your family, your generation. And that kind of flow doesn't happen when you're playing small. It happens when you fully receive what you've been given, when you stop running from it and start building with it. So let the world talk. Let the doubters whisper. Let the skeptics laugh. Your wealth won't be loud, but it will be undeniable. Your influence won't be forced, but it will be felt. And your rise, it will be so undeniable, so powerful, so guided, that even those who counted you out will have no choice but to say, "It had to be God." This is it. This is the turning point. The moment you stop hoping and start knowing. The moment you stop asking and start claiming. The moment you stop waiting and start walking. You don't need to strive for what's already been assigned to you. Just align with it. Just move like it's already yours. Because the truth is, it is. Heaven has already written your name on the next level. All you have to do is accept it. Not someday. Not when it's convenient. Not when it makes sense. Accept it now.